You might think, who is going to build a multi-step form by hand anymore? But hear me out. At least my experience building forms with logic and conditional steps and animations using coding agents hasn't been consistent. Yes, they can do it, but it's not consistent the way that I want it every single time. Now, with a library like Formity and a pattern for building steps, building logic and conditional steps, adding animations to it, or using specific components in your form, you can give your coding agent a skill or a pattern to look at anytime you wanted to build multi-step forms. So therefore, my forms are now way more consistent every single time, the way that I want to design them, the way that I want to animate them, or the way that I wanted to kind of define the logic and the conditional steps, which is where Formity comes in. So we're going to build a multi-step form from scratch. But before I do that, let me show you how this library looks like. If you have seen Typeform, which is a hosted paid form provider, you might be familiar with these type of animations or multi-step forms. Now, this already has a conditional logic already inside of it as well. And as you can see, if I start again and put my name in, this time I say I'm not a software developer, it asks me different stuff this time. It's very easy to build these conditions inside, and it just looks nice. It has a progress bar and the sort of animation that you would see in Typeform. There's also Formity UI, which gives you these type of components, so you don't have to build them from scratch. I'm going to show it to you at the end, so stick around. But for now, we're going to build a multi-step form with conditional logic to see how this works. So let's go to the docs, and we're going to follow the tutorial here. There's a repo here that you can clone, which is a good starting point, or the same starting point we're going to use here. Let's open this up in Cursor. And let me just start the dev server, npm run dev. Let's open this up inside of our local host. So we have this form to start from. And right now, it's not multi-step, it's just a simple step form. Let's actually see what's inside of here. So inside of source, we have this app, which contains this form step. We're giving it default values and a resolver. In this example, we're using React Hook Forms. You can use other form libraries and providers as well, but in this case, we're using React Hooked Forms, passing in the schema of our form. And then there are some components over here, like this input components, buttons, and the form step, which is the main component that we are working here. This is basically using the use form from React Hook Forms, rendering that form in a context with the provider. And then the content, the heading, is just like wrapping it with necessary tags and rendering everything inside of this form. So that's simple. So let's go back to our documentation. And we have the single step form. Now we wanted to add our Formity component. This is to render a multi-step form. It has two main props, the schema and the onReturn. That's a callback that's triggered when the form is completed. So we can copy and paste what we have here over into our app. So let's delete this and copy this here. So what do we have here? If you're having the output, the onReturn callback, and then we render our Formity that receives a schema and then the onReturn function. Now let's go and see how we would define our schema. So I'm going to copy what we have here, and I'm going to define a file here that says schema.tsx, and then paste this over here. Let me just close this off and explain how things are working here. So we're defining this schema. That's what we're passing into our Formity component that shapes the way that our form works. Now, it's an array of different steps, and each step, as you can see here, is an object with a form property. So that defines a whole step. Now, each form step in Formity is a complete form with its own schema, and you can see that we are defining it over here. So the first step has name, surname, and age, and it has a render method where it gets the values and onNext property defines a resolver using Zot, just like how you would do it in using React Hook forms. And then on submit for that form in the first step calls the on next. And then as you can see here, I have the same form step content, header, and inputs that we just looked at to render our form. So that's our first step, and the second step is defined over here. So let's go back to the docs, and now that we have this schema, we need to pass it to our Formity component. So let me copy what we have for the app page, and all I have done here is just pass this schema and on return to our Formity component. So let's save this up, go back to the browser, and now I should be able to see that second step. There you go. But currently the submit button doesn't do anything. Even if you're passing this on return, which sets the output inside of our app, and if we have an output, we should see this output component. Currently we don't see anything. That's because we need to add a return statement or element to our schema to tell it what to return. So let's copy this, go back inside of our schema and replace this. So we have the same form steps as we had before, but now the only thing added is this return kind of element or statement here that takes in the values that was submitted in the previous steps and then returns an object with whatever you want. Now here I'm just returning that same object, and now if I save this up, go back to our page, refresh, and then put in name, go to the second step and submit. Now I can see that output component with whatever object that we're returning from our return statement. Now, so far we have covered a multi-step form with some return elements, but there are more stuff that we could use in building logic into our steps. So let's get this schema, for example, and replace what we have over here, and let's walk through what we have. So the first step, just like before, is our form step, and the second one. But as a third step, I have a conditional logic. I'm looking at a specific value here. If software developer is yes, I want to render this part. And if it's not true, I want to render the else statement. Now, each of these steps, again, just like our regular steps, can be a form step. So it renders a form, has its own value, and renders its own inputs, and has its own return statement. And again, on the else branch, we also have a form step with the values, schema, and a render function and a return statement. So we have technically branched our form with two different possible options depending on whether or not the user is a software developer. We take them through a different form, a different step with a different logic, inputs, and validations, and finally returning from that specific branch. So let's see this in action. Let's go back and refresh this. So I input my name here. If I pick software developer, yes, I see what is my expertise and I submit. But if I go again, and this time, if I select no, I would see that else branch, which said, what are you interested in, or whether or not you're interested in. So you can see how you can build conditional logic very easily into your multi-step forms. Now, so far we have created the multi-step form with conditional logic, but now let's work on form submission. So if we want to keep track of the submission state, so let's start by adding a types.ts. I'm going to create a types.ts. I'm going to copy the types over here. Then inside of our app, we're going to add or include a submission logic. So let's go back to our app and let's now have this submission logic that on return, it's going to set some status for the type and the state for submitting true or false. This is mimicking an asynchronous action when the form is submitted and then setting the status type to an end. So everything else should look the same. Now the only difference is that now instead of showing the output on the screen, it shows this end or success message with an on start that just restarts the form again. So let's see this in action. If I put in my name over here and then select software developer and then front-end development, if I go through the submit, it takes like 2 seconds and then shows me the success message. And this is the on start function that just brings the user back to where they started over here. Now, there are more guardrails you can put around the form by looking at the status object, for example, to disable interactions when it is going from one step to the other, or when the submission is happening. I'll let you read through this, also adding context around your multi-step form. But before we wrap this, I want to show you 2 things. One is how to add animations between our steps, and also talking about this Formity UI, which is a UI kit for your forms, similar steps and components as what you would see in Typeform. So let's go to the animations first. This is using Framer Motion, and there is a guide here on how to add animations to your steps. Let me show you how this looks like in our form. So I have this Formity animation, basically following the same steps that you see in the tutorial here down in the component. So I'm going to go npm run dev. This is going to spin up another development server here for us. And if I now put in my name, you could see it transitions or animates to the next step. Also, if I go back, it animates the other way around, as you can see here. And then when submitting, it just again submits and goes through that success message or last end page for us. There's a link in the description to this GitHub repo so you can have a look at it yourself, but I basically just followed what's in the documentation. Now, before we wrap, I want to also talk about Formity UI, which is a UI kit library that gives you similar components as what you would see in Typeform. For example, here I have a customer feedback form, and you can see the similar kind of steps or inputs as you would see in Typeform with form validations. Now, you have to pay a one-time fee to get the UI libraries. There's a discount code down in the description that you can use for a limited time. I don't get any kickback from this. It is just a discount to pass it to you guys. But on top of the components, once you download them, you also get access to this AI form builder that allows you to build your form in this canvas instead of coding it. So, for example, here I have my questions, I have my conditions, if, then, and else statements or branches. And if I want to add a branch or a step, I can decide if it's a question, then it asks me what type of a question it is, what type of a component do I need, and if I wanted to add a condition or add a condition, it automatically creates the 2 branches for me where I can just take in and create more steps or more conditions into this. Once you're done with your form design, you can generate the form and export the form. It gives you literally the code you copy back into your project, and it works with the components that you have downloaded from the Formity UI. That's our app for this video, folks. Make sure to check out the discount code if you're interested in Formity UI. There's links to GitHub repos for all the projects that we've worked through here, and also link to Formity documentation. If you have any questions, like always, hit me up down in the comments. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.